everybody here on another episode of the Sideline Story Podcast, man. It's your boy Damar. I'm here with my co-host
Jay Norman,
and we are back again, man. What's going on with you, man? What's going on?
Pro Bowl. I kind of watched it.
You kind of watched the Pro Bowl?
I kind of didn't watch it.
You kind of did? You kind of did.
I kind of did.
You kind of did. What do you think about the Pro Bowl? Do you think the Pro Bowl is necessary or?
It's necessary because you have to have a a time where you recognize the best of the best of the best, sir.
Come on, son. With honors.
But the NFL is a sport where it's hitting on every single play. Mm-hmm. So you can't have them hitting in this type of environment. I understand you want to have them hitting at all times.
Right.
At all purposes. But so let's say your favorite team, right? So let's say the Bengals are your favorite team.
Right.
You lost Joe Burrow this season. While playing the game of NFL, right?
Correct.
And so you go into the Pro Bowl, right?
Uh-huh.
And Jamar Chase, and then he happens to tear an ACL catching a meaningless pass in the Pro Bowl.
Right.
And then what?
I don't know.
You're mad, right?
You are upset.
You're pissed off.
You are highly
like
upset.
You're on Twitter. You're just like, why are they doing this?
Why? Be doing it.
Yeah, all of that. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, like, I want the Pro Bowl to mean something, but at the same time, I'm not mad that the Pro Bowl is what it is right now because it's you're always one injury away from being a top 5 pick.
Right. Of course.
And I'm just leaving it at that.
Of course.
You can hate that. Hate it, love it. I got my dogs on top. And I ain't gonna sign to my.
Oh, me. I'm sorry. Come on,
that's exactly how I feel.
We're not rapping right now.
That's exactly how I feel.
Okay. But the NFC did overall win the Pro Bowl.
They did
as a team.
Yep.
Against the AFC, 64 points to 59 points. The NFC won.
Yep.
I feel like the Pro Bowl needs to adopt baseball rules, right?
Hey.
Baseball all-star game. I don't know if they changed this or not, but I do remember in the past where if the what is the MLB sides?
They got the home run derby.
No. The sides. What are the sides? It's the NL and the AL.
Yeah, it's just how the NFL is.
AL.
Yeah, AFC, NFC,
One's
and then
baseball.
MLB, and then it's
NL,
AL versus NL. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they changed this, but from what I know is in the All-Star game, if the NL or the AL wins, they get
home field advantage to the playoffs. Correct. That is correct.
I feel like the NFL needs to adapt to that.
For sure.
But I think I don't know if it needs to be after the season because, like you said, somebody could get injured. It can be during the season, but regardless of...
It's tough.
It's tough to determine that.
Yeah.
But I think they need to make it more what is the word? They need to make it more...
relevant.
Yeah, make it more relevant to where...
the results of the Pro Bowl. Correct.
Yes, somebody needs to get
a
home field. Home field advantage, man. Whether it's the Super Bowl,
correct,
or because we know the AFC goes against each other, the NFC goes against each other.
But it's so hard because the NFL it's a different beast than the MLB.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, like they're hitting on every single play.
They are. But it's flag football now.
Correct. Now. So at this point, they should have the different exhibits that they have for the Pro Bowl.
Correct.
They should have them amount to whether the AFC or NFC has home field advantage to the playoffs.
Correct.
But then again, like you're playing these 17 games through the season, and then that's when you know who's going to have the home field advantage. It's tough for the NFL.
It's very tough.
I can't say that I agree with it for the NFL. Baseball, maybe because they play like a billion games.
162.
A billion
like
games,
yeah,
right?
Play.
But for the NFL, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can agree with
tough.
that.
It's like, do they need an All-Star game? They need a weekend for fans. Yes, I agree with
Correct.
All-Star type of deal.
Right.
But they're playing a sport that's kind of, not kind of. It's actually more tough on your body.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they need to come up with something that matches what
the output,
product. So you don't have to worry about. I like the flag football. It's not tough on your body. It's not.
Nope.
But what can you do during the season
to make it more
before the playoffs start, to make the playoffs more interesting?
Yes, sir.
To make the next season more. Maybe the NFC gets the top pick in the playoff. I mean, in the draft, or you know what I'm saying, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Like the NFC wins or the AFC wins, whatever. Let's say there's two teams. There's a few teams, right? That's 1 through 10 in the NFL draft.
Yep.
If the NFC wins, they get the
Number one.
Yes, they get the number one.
I feel you.
Everybody gets all NFC teams, whatever the amount is through 10.
Right.
All NFC teams get the most closest to 1.
Correct.
Through 10.
So let's say that there's two teams in the NFC and AFC that had horrible records.
Yep.
And they both tied for the number 1 pick.
Yep.
The winner of the Pro Bowl gets that number 1 pick.
But then, as I say this, I think about this, is like, maybe, let's say the AFC, right? Let's say the Dolphins, the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
The Chiefs go to the Super Bowl.
They do.
Well, they're not gonna be in the Pro Bowl.
They will not.
Let's say the Dolphins, right? Or the Ravens. The Ravens, they made it to the AFC Championship, right? And let's say somebody from, we're just going to say the Raiders. Right? Because we don't know. This is not real. Let's just say the Raiders is the worst team in the AFC, and they need the AFC to win the Pro Bowl to be number 1.
Right.
Do you think the Dolphins players will play as hard to get the Raiders to number 1? And that's where
it's all about incentives.
Yeah, maybe money has to be in the
play. It's always going to be about money.
Money has to be in the play.
Always.
The winner, everybody gets $1 million. Everybody gets $1 million.
I mean, we saw what happened with the NBA and the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
The Lakers, they went hard.
They went hard because of money.
And after that, they dropped they lost 10 games straight.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's always going to be money.
I feel like money has to be the play. Let's say the winner gets $1 million. Everybody on that team gets $1 million.
Right.
The losers gets $250,000.
Right. That's a big difference.
They get money, so it's worth playing.
Yeah.
But you can get $1 million.
Hey, $1 million.
Maybe that's probably what has to happen.
It has to.
NFL, come on, bring us in.
It has to.
Bring us in, NFL. Come on, we gotta regulate this. Regulate us.
Mount up. It was a cool dark night.
Yo, stop.
Warren Jeep was on this chain. Town to consume.
I was
some skirts for the ease.
Listening to my Will Smith CD.
That's not even the same.
That's not even the same song. It's not even the same song. Let's go to the NBA real quick. We talking about the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers are in some kind of trouble right now. They're in trade talks. LeBron is like, this is the team we have to have. What do you think the Lakers have to do to get back into the standards of the West Coast?
So it's not even Bron, because Bron has been doing his best.
Yes.
The only issue has always been AD.
Okay.
Even after they won that chip in 2020, it's always been on AD.
Okay.
So Bron has been putting his best foot forward at all times, but they just lost Vanderbilt. He's out for, I think, like a month. And so, like, they dropped a bunch of games, But even then, when they played these Saturday night games, these Saturday night primetime games, they look like they can take on the entire NBA and not even falter.
Right.
That they played the Knicks this past Saturday.
Okay.
That game was incredible. Bron and all them, they just looked like world beaters again.
Right.
But that just happened to be when AD was a beast on defense.
Right.
Like, he didn't even score a bunch of points on offense. It was his defensive prowess that made it look like, yeah, these guys are legit.
Okay.
And then even before that, like the week before, they beat the Warriors.
They did beat the Warriors, yeah.
Like, Bron had to drop a career-defining triple-double.
Right.
But at the same time, AD was out there and just making it look like, yeah, bro, this is us.
Right. So, what do you think the team has to do in general just to get back to where they need to be? Because right now, the Lakers are ninth in the Western Conference.
That's correct.
So, what do you think they have to do?
They just need to hover around, just like it was last year. I don't know what they can do in terms of trades, because they've already, like last year, they traded a bunch of players at the trade deadline to get Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. Who else was it? I can't even call it off the top of my head. But I know Vanderbilt was part of it, and he's not even playing right now. So it just comes down to making the most of what their team is right now. And I think they have it, but I think injuries are going to be a part of it.
Okay.
So if they aren't cohesive in terms of their rotations, it's just going to mess them up. But I think what they did last year in terms of making their team better at the trade deadline is enough this year.
Okay.
Because so you still got you worry about the Nuggets, but at the same time you got to worry about the Clippers, because the Clippers this year are looking crazy.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. Let's get into the All-Star game. We're going to talk about the replacements. Trae Young got in
yes, he did.
as a replacement. Scotty Barnes got in as a replacement.
Yep.
They both got in. Joel Embiid and Julius Randle are injured. Scotty Barnes is averaging... What is Scotty Barnes averaging? Right now, Scotty Barnes is averaging 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Trae Young is averaging currently... Give me one moment here.
It's going to be like 25?
Yeah, it's something like that. I'm sorry. My chat GBT has somehow showed up randomly. Trae Young is averaging 27 points and 10 assists per game. Do you think that these two were supposed to be in the All-Star game prior to these injuries, or what do you think? Go ahead.
So were they snubbed?
Were they snubbed, and they're finally just letting them in because of injuries?
It's tough, because Joel Embiid, before he got injured, was without a doubt having a MVP season. Mm-hmm. But Joel Embiid is a center. Right. So let's talk about the point guards. Who are the point guards?
Damian Lillard and
okay. So just off of saying that, Damian Lillard did not deserve to be a starter.
He did not.
Over Trae Young.
His name is what's getting him in there. So
it's just becoming a popularity contest, because Dame.
Averaging 24.9 and 6.8 assists per game.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm not hearing it. I'm not listening to that.
Over 27.
You didn't have to tell me. So he's playing for the Bucks. Okay, that's cool. Right. So the Bucks, before the even season started, they got rid of Terry Stotts, because Terry Stotts was like, no, I'm not dealing with this. Yeah. So he just dropped off before the season started, and then they got rid of their initial coach,
Adrian
Griffin, and then he's out, and now it's it was Adrian Griffin. Yep. And so currently, as we speak right now, the Suns are beating the Bucks.
Yes, they are.
And so I don't believe that Damian Lillard is an all-star in any category in the East, because he was barely doing that in the West.
Right.
And now that he's in the East with all this talent, all these teams that are ready to be in the playoffs, he's not even that, because he doesn't do anything besides shoot threes.
Right.
And maybe get a rebound and maybe get you assists.
Right.
So I'm not hearing that. And so I don't. When the Bucks make it to the playoffs this year, I feel that there will be a first round bounce, and that's just it.
Okay.
Simple as that.
I understand that. As we're talking about the Suns and the Bucks, the Suns are currently beating the Bucks.
Game over.
The game is over. Currently, as we're looking at the scores,
Game over.
107-99. What do you think? You said the Bucks going forward is a first round bounce type of team.
Yes.
Do you think there's a way that they can
No.
come up from that?
Nope.
Or do you think
No, sir.
adding Doc Rivers,
Nope.
does that help?
No. So they would have to make a trade. But who would you trade as the Bucks? So your starting five is Giannis,
Yep.
Dame,
Yep.
Middleton,
Yes.
and then
Portis.
Bobby Portis. He's starting? I hope not.
Portis is starting.
No. Okay, so there's one problem.
And Crowder.
Oh. So that's your second problem. So you traded away you traded away your backbone.
Mm-hmm.
Then all you have now is starters, shooters, and maybe defenders.
Maybe. Tad bit. Maybe.
Right. And so, and then now you got rid of your starting coach who got you to 30-13, and you haven't won a game since you've done that.
Right.
And you've lost to the Suns and the Jazz.
Right.
And when we talk about the Jazz, you had a 25-point lead going into the fourth, and you lost that and lost by 13. So let's talk about that. So how good are you, and how good is the coaching going forward?
Hey, listen. I don't want them to do good at all.
Yeah, we're Heat fans. We want them to crash and burn. But at the same time, how is this something that is even reasonable?
Right.
Why would you do that?
Right.
It's in the East. You have to worry about the Heat. You have to worry about the Knicks. You have to worry about the Pacers. You have to worry about the Cavs. You have to worry about the Boston Celtics. You have to worry about at least 6 teams before you the Sixers.
Yes.
You have to worry about at least 7 teams
Yes.
before you even think about you have to go to the playoffs.
Correct.
So these things you have to worry about before you even think about going forward in the conference.
Correct.
But you got rid of this man a third of the season.
A third of the season. While you're still at the top, number 1, number 2 team.
Correct. And now you've done that. And now you're losing these games that you should be winning before the even the half point, the All-Star break.
Yep.
So what's gonna stop these other dudes from being like, yo, I'm out of here. I'm cashing out.
Yep. I'm gone.
I'm that money. I'm just cashing out.
I'm just cashing out. Yo, just.
I'm cashing on that leader. I'm running around that leader.
Yo, stop it. Please stop it. I don't know what's going on with this Bucks team. I hope they do bad.
Bro,
shout out to the Heat.
It's literally over for them, bro.
It's a rap ski because they're going first round bounce. It depends on who they play. I give them. It depends on who they play. I will give them a second round because they come against a top tier team.
Maybe.
If they come against a top tier team because Doc Rivers. Let's talk about Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers hasn't done good since 2008. 2009 when the Celtics won the chip.
Like, I can't even blame him this time.
I can't.
Because he was literally broadcasting on ESPN when they brought him into this position.
That's correct. But what I'm saying is they still brought him in.
They did.
So he's still in, right?
They did.
So he's still in. So my thing is Doc Rivers is the coach.
Yep.
He hasn't done nothing since the Celtics, Paul Pierce, KG, Rajon Rondo.
2008.
You know what I'm saying? And they beat Kobe.
They did beat Kobe.
But that was, and Kobe came the next year and won a chip.
He did beat them.
And we haven't heard nothing since that Celtics team.
Nope.
Doc Rivers since that Celtics team. Ray Allen came to the Heat.
Miami Heat.
Paul Pierce, KG went to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes, they did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing done since then. Paul Pierce went to the Clippers.
Yep.
Doc Rivers went to the Clippers, I believe it is, when they had Lob City and they couldn't make it out of the Western Conference Finals.
Yikes.
Out of the round before that.
Yikes.
So what are we talking about? They have Doc Rivers. That just wasn't a good pickup. They were doing valid with the coach that they had.
Yeah, they did.
I feel like that was just a wrong move for them.
They were doing valid.
So let's go to the NFL. CBS currently has the awards.
Yep.
Right now they have Lamar Jackson as MVP.
Should be.
Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, you know what I'm saying, voted for that as well.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year, they have Christian McCaffrey with Tyreek Hill after that. Defensive Player of the Year, they have TJ Watt with Myles Garrett after that. Michael Parsons, Max Crosby, Roquan Smith from the Ravens. Coach of the Year, they have DeMeco Ryan.
Yup.
With Kevin Stefanski from the Browns. Dan Campbell from the Lions. LaFleur, Sean McVay from the Rams after that. Rookie of the Year, they have C.J. Stroud with Puka after that. Defensive Rookie of the Year, they have Will Anderson after that with Jalen Carter, Kobe Turner.
Yeah, you got that.
Devin Witherspoon, Brian Branch from the Lions. Comeback Player of the Year, they have Joe Flacco with Hamlin and Baker Mayfield.
All of that is no.
So let's go ahead and start off with MVP. Do you think they got it right with Lamar Jackson?
1,000%.
1,000%. I do agree.
Not even a question.
Not even a question. Forget playoffs.
Yeah.
Regular
season.
MVP. I have it as Lamar Jackson.
1,000,000%.
Offensive Player of the Year. They have Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill, but they have Christian McCaffrey number 1. With 26 votes. What do you think about that?
So Offensive Player of the Year.
Let me hear it. Let me see it.
I think I would, in my honest, give it to Tyreek.
You gonna do what?
No. So, I think I would give the award to Tyreek. To Tyreek because he's proved in multiple systems that once you get him the ball, it is nothing but a first down or a touchdown every single time.
Yep. My son Q is a hater. He don't like Tyreek Hill for some reason. I don't know why. He don't like Tyreek Hill. He's like, yo, he's not the best. Win. That's my son though. You know what I'm saying? That's the word to hell. That's my son. But he tripping. But go ahead.
No, you're right. So between two quarterbacks.
Yep.
Mahomes and Tua.
My auto. My auto. Mahomes' dad went to jail for a DUI.
So first of all,
let's talk about
that. Doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't because he's not in the NFL.
As much, thank you. Yeah. So as much as I'd even like Mahomes, that don't have nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
He didn't have nothing to do with that. It's not like he was just in there and drinking with his dad, his pops.
No.
Even if he might have been,
he's doing something on his own.
Correct. So let's just go forward.
Yeah.
So based on what we were talking about, he was definitely lit.
Okay.
And so Tyreek.
Hold on. Yo, my son had the brewskis and said, because remember the Ravens game? He was
getting lit.
Yo, Mahomes' dad, Mahomes Sr. is like, My son, the best quarterback in the NFL.
What you gonna tell me?
What you gonna tell me? Look, I can drink all the brewskis I want.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Go ahead. My bad.
So entirely, though, them cops was hating.
Yo, they was hating.
But y'all could have swept that under the rug. But anyway, so Tyreek in 2 different systems has proven to be the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Correct.
So therefore, he's the best offensive player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's done it twice.
Yeah.
And you just can't hate on it.
Cannot.
Like, he's been averaging a disgusting amount of yards, a disgusting amount of touchdowns, a disgusting amount of fantasy points, a disgusting amount of betting props. Mm-hmm. So whatever category you want to think of Tyreek,
correct,
he's been getting you money, getting you points, getting you whatever. So yeah, let's go.
I feel the same way. My thing is, and it's tough for me because I play wide receiver.
Yep.
McCaffrey's a running back. They're going to get the ball consistently.
Yeah.
Right? Playing receiver, you have to depend on the line.
Yep. Quarterback.
The quarterback.
Yep.
You got to depend on the play call.
Yep.
Got to depend on the defense being called.
Yeah, sir.
There's a lot being depended on. As a running back, they can just be like, man, I'm just going to hand you the ball.
That's the line.
You do what you do.
Yep.
Flare out. We're just going to throw you the ball. We're going to have everybody block. You do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like somebody who has to depend on the most deserves, and they excel, deserves that type of recognition as Offensive Player of the Year, especially when you're close to 2,000 yards. Don't get me wrong, McCaffrey is he's phenomenal.
Oh, facts.
He's phenomenal.
Yes.
But when you're in a dependent position like receiver, we have to depend on three, four different things: the line, the quarterback, the defense, the play call. Because if you're a receiver, they call a run play, you're taking out the play.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
If the line don't block, you're taking out the play.
Done.
If the quarterback decides to throw the ball to somebody else,
Done.
you're taking out the play. If the offensive coordinator says this ball is going to the opposite side of the field, you're out the play.
Yep.
But you get the ball, and when you get it and you make plays, you deserve to be at the top of the top.
Fact.
So I agree with you with Tyreek Hill. Let's go to the Defensive Player of the Year. Currently, they have T.J. Watt.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett is second after that.
Miles Garrett.
Why do you think Miles Garrett?
Miles Garrett, simply because he played for the Browns, and there is no Browns dominance this season without him. Correct. And the defense of the Browns. They had 4 different starting wide receivers, quarterbacks.
Yep.
And they managed to get to the playoffs simply because of the defense.
Right.
They lost 3 different starting quarterbacks.
Correct.
They lost Chubb
Yep.
as a running back.
Yep.
I don't even think Cooper. I don't think he played in the last few games.
Yeah, because he had that one game where he had over 20 yards and was hurt.
And then
after that game,
he didn't even play.
Yep.
So the defense was the only thing keeping the Browns in contention, and Miles Garrett and the defense did that. So yeah, I don't even think it's a question. Mm-hmm. Simple as that.
Okay.
Miles Garrett.
Let's get to. We're gonna go to offensive. Let's go to Offensive Rookie of the Year. They have C.J. Stroud and then Puka Nacua after that. What do you think about that?
This is tough.
It's very tough.
Like I hate giving it to quarterbacks. I hate it.
They have a lot of advantage.
Yes, they do.
A lot of advantage
because they have the ball in their hands.
They get the ball
every single snap.
Yes.
Every single snap.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think Puka Nacua was drafted in the fifth, I think
round.
5th or 6th round.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't think that's his fault.
It's not.
I think the process for drafting in the NFL was the reason why he was drafted so low.
Yes. Okay. I agree with that. I agree.
So, like, the process of drafting players in the NFL has gotten so nitpicky.
Yes, it has.
It's gotten to the point where if you can't, on paper, after our algorithms, you can't guarantee us 5 to 10 wins.
Yep.
You're already regulated to maybe the 4th through 7th round.
They got analytic people that'll put your numbers in
Correct.
there, like, yeah, they're not going to do much.
Correct. That's why these running backs are getting drafted in the 4th through 7th round,
Yep.
but they're definitely 1 through, no, I won't say 1. So 3 through 5th round talent.
Yes, they are.
So
and the thing with that is,
Yep.
with the running backs, and I find this is crazy,
Yep.
is because running backs, receivers, right? They come a dime a dozen.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of them out there. So analytics kind of puts you in a situation where this guy, let's draft him late round.
Yep.
Let's draft this person late round. But they're really first round picks.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
They got talent.
But, you
They're
know what I'm
talent.
saying? They think their running back that they have, you know, you got to have a number 1 running back in your backfield.
Yep.
But the number 3 running back can be better than him.
Yep.
Or can be on the same page as him.
Yep.
But analytics goes to the games they played in college or the games they played for another team and all this. And that's why, like you said, I don't understand or I don't like the way that the draft process goes.
Correct.
Because they look at this, but they don't really look at the person.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like you said, this is just going off of him saying the draft process. I don't really like that just because teams look at people and they be like, yeah, you know, they play.
Like we
for
can
this
get more
school.
value.
We can get more value from this person,
Yeah.
but
If you're still there,
yeah, if you're still there, we'll get you.
like we'll still get you.
But in reality, running backs are the type of talent, receivers are the type of talent, like Puka Nacua, where it's like they're really good, but they're going to go off of what school you came from.
And I still don't understand how he dropped to that. Like he was literally a 4th or 5th. He was 5th round pick, right?
Yeah, 56th round pick.
So how does a 5th round wide receiver get picked where he was, and then he's the best
wide receiver,
almost in the league, yeah.
Top 5 wide receiver.
If there weren't injuries to the position throughout this season, he was literally the best wide receiver.
Correct. And that's like I said, that's just a thing that a lot of players deal with and they vocalize. It's just that they're very good.
Yeah.
But the NFL looks at, did you come from Texas A&M?
Correct.
Did you come from Ohio State?
Correct.
It don't work that way. There's talent everywhere. And that's another thing with the running backs. But just going off of, you know, the C.J. Stroud, this Puka Nacua thing, it's tough, like you said.
It's pain.
C.J. Stroud did an amazing job.
Crazy job.
He brought his team to
the playoffs. Ain't got to win.
But, you know, and that's a thing where it's kind of flim-flam because when we say things like that, we're putting the game strictly on quarterbacks. But if the quarterbacks lose, we're going to say what type of defense he has.
Depending on who the quarterback is.
Depending on who the quarterback is.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I like putting these awards to positional players who depend on players.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because receiver, like we said, they depend on the line, the quarterback, the play call, the defense. They depend on 4 things to get the ball and be good. While the quarterback gets the ball all the time. Now he hasn't been on the line. He really don't got to depend on the defense because he cannot. It just depends because he can decipher the defense.
Correct.
Right? So that's why I personally give that award to Puka Nacua because he comes from BYU, as they say, you know, a smaller school,
super small
compared to Ohio State,
especially for wide at the position, wide receiver.
Yes, and you're dependent there as well.
Yeah.
So I personally have to give it to Puka Nacua, me personally, because he was top 5 as a wide receiver, a dependent position, but C.J. Stroud is right there as well.
Fact.
He's right there as well. So that's me for that. Let's go to. We're gonna jump to comeback player of the year, right? They have Joe Flacco. CBS has Joe Flacco, 13 ranked, and Damar Hamlin from the Bills at number 12.
No.
So they have Joe Flacco as number 13 because Joe Flacco came in late in the season.
Nope.
Brought the Browns to the playoffs.
Nope.
Me personally,
No.
I can't do that.
No.
There's a lot of flack and a lot of hate going to Damar Hamlin because he didn't
Play
as much.
Correct.
And my thing with that is the comeback play of the year is not strictly on what did you do on the field. People
Right.
don't understand that.
What did you come back from?
It's what did you come back from,
Yeah.
right? And the thing is, we've seen people come back from injuries and play well.
Correct.
We've never seen a Damar Hamlin.
Nope.
We've never seen somebody die on the field.
He did.
And come back to football standard play to be able to make the team. People
Within the
say-
same year.
And yes. And people say he only made the team because they didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, the reputation, etc.
Right.
Now, I don't want to give that because
Right.
he was on the team since 2021.
Yep.
He's been on the team.
Yep.
He was talented enough to make the team. The 2021, 2022, he had valid stats.
Correct.
When the safeties went down from the Bills,
Yep.
he had 80-some tackles.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's amazing for a safety.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So to come back from literally dying on the field
Yep.
and to come back and be healthy enough,
Productive.
just to be able to
Yeah.
make the NFL roster
Correct.
again.
Yep. On a Sunday.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? We've seen Joe Flacco's. We've seen people who, you know what I'm saying, got injured and came back and had amazing stats. We've seen people who didn't play good last year and came back. Geno Smith didn't play good and came back and played amazing and got comeback player of the year.
Yes, he did.
We've seen that. Damar Hamlin is like the ultimate test.
Correct.
There's nothing that can go higher than dying on the field. Unless somebody dies on the field and
Wins a Super Bowl.
Right. That's the most ultimate.
Right.
You know
Win a
what I'm
Super
saying?
Bowl, something.
Yeah. There's nothing else that can be done with dying on the field and making an NFL roster again.
Fact.
That's the most ultimate comeback ever.
Yeah.
Compared to not playing good and then having and leading your team to the playoffs. We've seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been trying to tell people is this is an anomaly.
Yeah.
This is taboo.
Yeah.
Something that has never been done before. You've died on the field and come back healthy enough to make the roster and still be able to play.
Sunday after Sunday.
That's the most ultimate top list. You
Feel
can't
it.
beat. There's nothing that can beat that. That's if you play spades. That is the spade. That is the ace of spades. Or that's the joker. The
Big Joker. I'm about to say
that's
big
the
Joker.
Big Joker.
Yeah. Big Joker.
That's the most unbeatable card
Yep.
that can be played.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree. When you put it like that, I agree with you. The only thing I would have fought back on would have been John Mechie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had cancer, and he beat that cancer. He had leukemia. And so he missed all of last season.
Yep.
And then he beat that in the offseason.
Yep.
And came back to play the entire season this year.
Yep.
He didn't miss a game.
He didn't miss, but we've seen that before.
Eric
Eric Berry had cancer.
And what did he get
came
that?
back and played.
Did he get it?
Huh?
Did he get it?
Yes, he did. He got comeback player of the year.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's my thing.
And that's what I'm saying is
That's my thing.
We've seen that before. We've seen a John Mechie
but I'm
before.
saying-
No, I get what you're saying.
You didn't
That
hear
is major.
anything about John Mechie
You
this
didn't,
season.
and that Joe Flacco shouldn't have been in there.
Correct.
Joe
Because
Flacco should. Mechie and Hamlin should have been in there.
right.
I agree with you on that.
Because Joe Flacco is literally a Super Bowl champion.
Yes, and so him coming back is nothing. He's a Super Bowl champion quarterback.
It's not like he failed at his position at one point and is coming back and then being better at that same position.
Right.
He's won the entire thing. He's a Super Bowl champion. He won the Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens against the 49ers.
Correct.
Against Harbaugh, who is supposedly coming back this season because he wants to win the Super Bowl now because he lost to Joe Flacco.
Correct.
So make it make sense to me.
Correct. He should have not been. He's not. What's his name? Dan Orlovsky from the Lions.
Yeah, he was a Lions quarterback. That's him.
Was he the 0-16 quarterback? No,
he wasn't. He wasn't. But Dan Campbell was. Dan
Campbell was the 0-16 player who was the coach.
Yep.
Well, I agree that he should be coach of the year as well, just because of where he brought his team. But we're not going to talk about coach of the year because Dan Campbell just deserves that simply because. I mean,
it is a
topic
this year.
They got DeMeco Ryans as CBS has DeMeco Ryans as coach of the year, and I feel like Dan Campbell should be coach of the year.
What are the odds?
They have DeMeco Ryans 13, Kevin Stefanski 11, Dan Campbell 4 in votes. So he's number 3 with CBS.
I'm sick of Stefanski.
Yes. Because that team is an amazing team regardless. Yeah. It's not like he had to build a team from the... Man, that team was
that team
good.
has been good for a while.
They had good running backs.
Fact.
They just, you know what I'm saying?
Offensive line.
Dan Campbell literally built this team.
From the mud.
He picked the GM picked this team from the mud. The draft.
Yep.
He deserves to be coach of the year because nobody expected the Lions to even go this far. The Browns were in this expectation
from the jump.
The Lions were not in this. They had hard knocks.
Yep.
What last
2 years?
The past 2 years. This year, I believe they had hard knocks.
Yeah. Before that too.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
They had it 2 years.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Like when Campbell was first hired.
Yes, when Campbell was first hired, they got Hutchinson his rookie year. Yep. That's when they had hard knocks.
Yep.
I believe that Dan Campbell should get coach of the year. Nobody believed out of the Texans, Browns, Packers, Rams, nobody would have put the Lions in that.
The Rams being there is just an insult.
I agree.
McVay, like, bro. You were just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
I agree. He shouldn't have been in there.
Right.
I agree. LaFleur,
Packers,
I give him that.
No,
I would give LaFleur that because he had Jordan Love as a rookie quarterback.
Exactly. So it's not what he did; it's what Jordan Love did.
Yeah, but you have a rookie quarterback, and that's why. But that's why they have DeMeco Ryans as well. Well, Jordan Love isn't a rookie quarterback; it's his first time starting.
Exactly.
Right.
So he's been behind Aaron Rodgers. He's been behind LaFleur this entire time. It's not like they were like, Jordan Love doesn't know what he's doing. It's just that Jordan Love had time to prepare. He had time to develop.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, personally, are we in agreement that Dan Campbell?
Yeah, I give that.
Is it Dan Campbell?
I give that.
Okay.
I give that.
Okay. Man. Other than that, what else do you have to say? I brought up what I had to talk about.
Who else? There was a couple others.
Let's see here. We have. No, that might have been it.
Oh, dang. Okay.
That might have been it. Let's go. Defensive Rookie of the Year. They have Will Anderson. And I don't have anybody else but
who else? I was about to say. Yeah, that's Will Anderson.
You know what I'm saying? And that was it. Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie, Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
So, we can talk about the Super Bowl that's about to happen on Sunday.
Okay.
The line, for all you bettors out there.
We don't bet.
It's gone up to 2.5.
Yeah.
So that means...
For who?
The 49ers.
Ooh. What do Vegas know? And the game is in Vegas.
It is in Vegas.
So Vegas knows something.
I don't know. So that's my whole thing. So all you non-bettors out there, 2.5 would means the 49ers have to win by a field goal. Because that would be 3 points.
Yes.
Because there's no half points in
football.
Right.
There's 0 half points.
So the 49ers have to win by a field goal or better to cash out whatever the points or money line is.
Mm-hmm.
But it changed. It was 1.5 starting the week, and now it's up to 2.5.
Right.
I'm not buying it. I think this is just a ploy for people to just get on the 49ers.
Right.
And I thought the Chiefs would win before this. Mm-hmm. And now that it's gone up to 2.5, I'm all on the Chiefs.
All on the Chiefs. You all in?
All on the Chiefs.
Full house.
All my chips. Into the center.
Oh, don't do it.
F that.
Oh, Lord. Please,
So let's talk about what we have on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end.
Yeah.
Wide receiver.
Correct.
Running back.
Yeah. We're talking about the 49ers?
Yeah. All of those are better than
Two wide receivers.
Correct.
Yeah.
All of those are better than the Chiefs.
Tight end, I'm not going to put Kittle over Kelsey.
I wouldn't on paper, but when it comes to system.
Okay. I need that. I don't know, because just off of this season, Kittle has been, both of them has been quiet.
I mean, production-wise,
they both have been quiet.
They've been quiet for sure.
But playoff-wise, Kelsey has dominated.
Okay.
So I have to give it to Kelsey.
Okay, so wide receiver and running back.
Okay. 2 wide receivers. All wide receivers, really.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's where I think the Chiefs have their. And then you got quarterback and then coach. So if I'm just even a mild better, mm-hmm. I'm going with the Chiefs simply because you have the quarterback and coach. Because Shanahan has been here 3 times in the past, 5 years?
Yeah.
And he's failed every time, right?
Yeah,
and not only failed, but he looks like he didn't know what he was doing when he failed.
I hate him. Just want to let everybody know I hate Shanahan because he was our offensive coordinator.
What do Falcons do?
Rise up.
No. Oh. No.
Because it's third down. It's third down.
It's third down.
Shanahan was our OC.
Yeah.
And we went to the Super Bowl, and shout out to Sowicey CEO Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
And they put him on the seat because he's doing the Super Bowl game
Yes,
cast.
he is.
And it was like, Brock Purdy is a game manager. You guys try to make game manager. Matt Ryan look like,
yo, hold on.
Game manager.
I'm a what?
Game manager.
See,
don't
that's
disrespect Sowicey CEO.
See, that's why I hope my 49ers fans are watching this because this is exactly what happened. They tried to put Matt Ryan in same bubble.
You gonna call Matt Ryan a game manager?
And Matt Ryan was ready to smack all fire out of the dude who said that.
Man. He's looking at him like, hold on.
Putting Matt Ryan in the same boat as Brock Purdy is extremely disrespectful.
Come on.
Extremely disrespectful.
Top 5 in fourth quarter overtime comebacks. Brady, Peyton Manning.
It was so.
I forgot the other one, but Matt Ryan is in there.
So disrespectful.
Dan Marino.
So disrespectful.
Stop playing with my son.
Every year that Matt Ryan was in the NFL, it was 4,000 yards or better with at least 25 to 30 touchdowns.
With the worst defense ever.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I'm an AFC Titans fan.
And he understands.
Come on, man. And his face when they said that was just.
He couldn't even agree.
It was pure disrespect, and I applaud him for not just.
He had to be humble. He's like,
I applaud him.
Yeah.
I applaud him for not reaching across the table because they just disrespected Matt Ryan, and it was just so.
Sarah Ryan and Ice Cube.
It was so sad because why are we disrespecting Matt Ryan like this? And the fact that.
And it's not a Falcons fan saying this.
I was so mad to hear them do that. Yeah, he went to the Colts, and I told him.
He did.
I told him from jump. They
sold my boy a dream.
I told him from jump.
Did they not sell him a dream?
Yeah, I know because I told you.
Yes. They sold him a dream.
I told him from jump he does not want to go to the Colts because it's going to ruin his entire legacy in 1 year. It's going to ruin his legacy.
That's what happened. These receivers couldn't get open. The line was trash. The running back, Jonathan Taylor was trash.
He got hurt like the first 2 games.
Come on, man.
And then didn't play the entire time.
Oh my gosh. And people who don't understand the game of football, they'll sit there, look at Matt Ryan, do this. Or they'll be like, look at the Super Bowl.
It was so
I
bad.
had somebody on Facebook tell me, Matt Ryan didn't win our Super Bowl. I had to send him the list of our offensive ranking versus our defensive ranking.
Yeah.
Defensive rank, all red. All
Offensive
red.
rank, it was green across the board. Like, they were just moving the ball and scoring points on will. Like, I'm just so mad that Matt Ryan is on Broadcast Row and just getting pelted.
He deserves to play still. You think Joe Flacco come out? Matt Ryan, come on, man. Stop playing. But you got Joe Flacco out here with a great line, a great receiver, great defense, and he comeback player of the year. You don't think Matt Ryan can do this?
It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful.
Man, stop playing with my
I feel bad for Matt Ryan.
Stop playing him, man.
Because he was legit his entire career.
Y'all might get me pissed, bro. I can't do this, man. I can't do this. Go ahead.
Moving forward.
Go ahead.
Moving forward.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Because they about to piss me off. Bro.
I feel you. Because it's disrespect. And Matt Ryan, it was on live TV too, and that's what makes me even more mad about
live TV. Go ahead. I'm about to put the clip in right here.
Really, it's a title, game manager, and some use it as a slight. I'm sure you guys throughout the course of your career at some level were called a game manager, right? What does it mean to you?
Well, I don't think Matt was. I can say I was. When Jim Fossil would tell me before the game.
As you can see, you see Matt Ryan's face like.
They asked a question and his whole face was like, bro, come on, man.
What?
Stop.
I'm a game manager.
Stop disrespecting.
With my
you calling Matt Ryan a game manager?
You not even a fact. You in the AFC. You seen Matt Ryan throwing 300, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns a game. And he's in the top 5 of comebacks. Is that a game manager?
No, it's not. It's not.
Come on, bro. Stop playing with me, man. Bro, go ahead, bro, because I'm about to end this, man. Go ahead, bro.
Going back to what we were originally talking about, I think that the Chiefs are going to win this game. I don't think they're going to win it easily, but I do think that in the long run, which is how the Chiefs win games, the Chiefs will win this game.
Figure it out.
I think it'll be like the first time they played them. What was that? 2020. That
2020-2021 year, I believe it was.
Yeah. The 49ers jumped out to a 20-7 lead.
Yeah, and
they came up.
Came back
and beat them. They didn't score again.
Or 10-7.
No, it was 20-7.
Yeah.
It was 20-7. Yeah.
And they came back.
I think it's going to be.
We talking about Shanahan.
And he fumbled. Yeah. He fumbled the game.
And that's what we brought it to. Yep. He fumbled the game for the Falcons. Yep. That's why I hate Shanahan.
Correct.
But just to reel it back in, he fumbled the game for us against the Patriots because he don't know when to run the ball.
Just run the ball. Accept that you won and just play it out. But I think this is going to be another one of those low-scoring games where Shanahan just lets it get out of his hands. And then he just underestimates Reed and Pat Mahomes because on paper, the 49ers should win this game by at least 20.
Yeah.
At least 20. It's only Pat Mahomes and Kelsey versus a decent Chiefs defense versus a massively better offense and a much better defense.
Correct.
So the 49ers, so the line is -2.5. Mm-hmm. I feel like the 49ers should just win this game. Right. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Chiefs win. And now Pat Mahomes is being compared to Tom Brady.
I'm not comparing Pat Mahomes to Tom Brady just because Tom Brady beat him. So I'm not comparing him.
Thank you.
I can't compare.
Thank you.
He will always be number 2 to Brady because Brady.
That's even what Skip. That's even what Skip Bayless said, and I can't even hate on that.
Shout out to Skip Bayless.
Hey.
Listen. He cannot be better than Brady because he didn't beat Brady.
And that was a blowout too.
It was a blowout.
It was like
he can be better than Burrow because Burrow beat him, but he beat Burrow. But he did not beat Brady. Shoot. Even though Tom Brady got 7 chips,
just had 7.
Eli Manning beat him twice. So
that's when we'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk about that next week.
After the Super Bowl. When we know what happens. We gonna figure that out, man. Listen, it's your boy Jaron Moore. It's my boy Jay Norman.
And we gonna holler at y'all. It's the Sideline Story Podcast, man. We up out of here.